In a case of let's say zina, sexual illicitness, sexual promiscuity, to commit sex outside marriage, is this halal or haram? Are you doubting? No, not because I said earlier something about sariqa, then you're going to doubt this one. هذا معلوم من الدين بالضرورة. On this issue, there is no difference between alim and a non-alim. This is haram, haram, haram. Kabiratun, kabiratun, kabira. And the punishment for it, wal-'iyadhu billah, is severe in the day of judgment. The punishment is severe in the day of judgment. And I need not talk about the pain and the harm and the disasters that zina causes in society. We can quantify by dollars and by otherwise, for those who are interested in such research, in such language, how harmful zina is to the individual and to society. That's why it is haram. It is haram. And of course, the requirement of evidence is very stringent and very strict. 4 eyewitnesses. Can you imagine? 4 eyewitnesses witnessing the sexual act. Excuse me, please forgive me, not the flirting, the sexual intercourse. They witnessed 4 of them. In other words, this person must be crazy who is doing this thing, wal-'iyadhu billah. Not only immoral and with nonsense, but has no ihtiram, no respect to public and to others and to the feelings of anyone. To be witnessed by 4 eyewitnesses. Because if only 3 come and say we have witnessed this person or these persons committing zina, you know what happens? Those 3 persons will be whipped. Yes. Either 4 or no one. And if there is 1 or 2 or 3 that come and say we have seen this person, then the regular application of the law is they are going to be whipped if there is no 4th person to testify that way. And so on. Anyways, the point is, if there is tawbah, would the application of law here also include zina? When tawbah is sincere and the law and the court and the judge knows and feels to his shar'i discretion in looking at the evidence and the state of affairs, would he have the leeway to say this person will not be punished? And of course, we don't apply shara nowadays anyways. So this still remains a theoretical question as far as we are concerned in this society and almost everywhere. Well, again, the ulama are, is it before he was caught or she was caught, or after they were caught? After they were caught, meaning after the case arrived to the court with all the evidence and so on. Here again, the ulama differ. One group of ulama requires that the person expressed true repentance with its signs before the issue came to court. The others say it does not matter. Let me give you an example. There was a man, this hadith is authentic, reported by Imam al-Nasa'i and others. And a man came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, to the masjid in Medina. Said, Ya Rasulullah, asabtu haddan. And he was very explicit. He said, asabtu haddan. In other words, I've committed such crime in the balance of Sharia that requires hadd. It requires that physical punishment. What it was, the man didn't say. Asabtu haddan. It could be either sariqa or zina or murder, in which the Quranic texts are very explicit about hadd. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam turns away from him, subhanallah, because now he realizes the gravity of the situation. and wants rahmah to prevail. And the man came. He turns away from him. The man goes, Ya Rasulullah, asabtu haddan fa'aqimhu alayk. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam turns away from him. He doesn't want to hear this. He said it a third time, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam turns away from him. And then the salah is called for. Al-iqamah for salah was called for. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam goes, leads salah, and after completion of salah, the man comes to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam again. Subhanallah. What is this indicating? I leave that to you. Again, Ya Rasulullah, asabtu haddan fa'aqim alayh. I've committed a crime that necessitates hadd. Here I am. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in his wisdom, tells him, did you perform salah with us? After seeing, he read his profile, he read his inner being, his psychological profile, his attitude, his sincerest tawbah, and then he judged, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and told him, did you attend salah with us? He said, yes. He said, go, idhab faqad ghafar Allahu lak. Go. Allah has forgiven you. I know you and me probably would not have done that at all. No. We would not have done that at all. That is human justice. Or that is human application of justice and of law. One final example I said too, in the case of zina. And it is okay for me to say it because this had is not applied anyways. But for us to appreciate the beauty and the specialness of the Shara. And that it is only our fault when rahmah is stripped from our hearts that we are subjected to you know what. Because when there is no rahmah, rahmah will not be granted to us. Perhaps one of many reasons why we suffer from what we suffer is that rahmah is taken away from our daily activities and from our appreciation of the Shara. This final example, again in an authentic hadith, reported by many scholars, Ibn Majah included, and it is an authentic hadith. A woman, very early in Fajr, went to the masjid. She was alone. By the way, it is halal for a woman to go to a masjid alone. And in this hadith, a woman went to the masjid alone for Salatul Fajr. As the text says, في سواد الصبح, while it was still dark in the Fajr time. And she was attacked by a man. She was alone and she was attacked by a man, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, who raped her. She was screaming. A man was passing by and heard her screaming, came running to her rescue. Remember those days there were no lights, huh? It's all dark outside if you have ever been into a desert, huh? And especially when there is no moon. You can't see the light of the moon. It's very dark. So a man came to her rescue and it's very dark. The aggressor runs away and the person who came to her rescue is there and the woman is screaming and screaming and he's trying to calm her down. The woman is screaming and then many more people overheard her and came running to her rescue. A group of companions, a group of Muslims. And they see the situation there in the dark. They catch them all. They catch the man. And he says, no, it's not me. I'm innocent. I came to help her. She didn't see anything. She couldn't distinguish. She said, no, he's a liar. It is he. And the man was there, the third one, the aggressor also. So they all went to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the entire group. and told him what happened. Regardless to go through the details of what evidence means here and how to collect it and so on and so forth, to make the story very brief, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam adjudicated, had said, انطلقوا به فارجموه. Take him and stone him to death. I'm not going into the details here of all of that. Then the man who committed really the crime said, no, please, it is I. It is I who committed that crime, not he. Here I am. Wow. To make the story very short, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says to that man who originally committed the crime, and I'm just abbreviating here the story, and said to him, go, فَقَدْ غَفَرَ اللَّهُ لَكَ. Leave, Allah forgave you. And then he said a good word to the person who rescued her, and also a good word to the woman. That is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Umar ibn al-Khattab was there. You know what that means. Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu wa ardah. But if you knew Umar, when he became Khalifa, subhanallah, he was the closest in fiqh to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That man became something else. Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu was there and said, Ya Rasulallah, urjum alladhi zana, aw alladhi i'tarafa bizina. Ya Rasulullah, at least stone to death the person who confessed. And there is a confession here, it's clear. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, no. La. لأنه قد تاب إلى الله. Because he truly repented to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Many fuqaha, let alone regular people, feel very uncomfortable. So one alim said to them, I understand if your hearts feel uncomfortable. إذا لم تتسع لها قلوبكم نعم فذلك أولى لأن قلب عمر بن الخطاب لم يتسع لها. I understand if you feel that way, because Umar himself رضي الله تعالى عنه وأرضاه, his heart was not that wide to be that rahim. But the rahmah of Allah was more than enough. The rahmah of Allah could contain even that. Not the rahmah of the best even of individuals, but the rahmah of Allah could contain that. So the qadi here, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a qadi, applied the law with such rahmah, because this person who came now and confessed that he truly was the perpetrator, he asked for repentance and for forgiveness. He was ready to die and to save the life of that innocent Muslim. All of this cannot be disregarded by wise law, let alone by divine law.